Hey guys, welcome back to releasethecraftin. We're still here for another day of a Cabinet of Curiosiprompts, which is the month-long challenge hosted by myself and my bestie over at AmethystRaven342, Tiff. Check her out. All the information for this challenge will be linked down below, including a playlist with everybody who's participating, so you can check out what everybody else is making for these prompts. But it's a prompt thing where we share Curiosiprompts. That's the hashtag Curiosiprompts, to sort of inspire some creativity, use some fun words in some unique ways, and this is the challenge, and we are actually 22 days into it. Can you believe it? We have come quite a long way. We have passed the 3-week mark. There is a week left to go. We're coming down to the wire here. There's only a couple more rows left, but we are on day 22. The prompt for day 22 is Pantagruelian, which is an adjective meaning enormous. And you guys, I'm going to take you on a journey. Okay, so if you're just now joining me, then this is news to you, but I am making tags for every one of these. If you are not now joining me, you already know I'm making tags. Welcome back. I appreciate your face. So at any rate, I'll take you guys on a little journey. Not like a super long journey, because I really thought about it and was like, oh, I could write all this up and I could share all these things. But then I was like, that's so much work and you have so many more videos to make. So, I have an idea. First of all, my idea is to attempt to recreate what I did on day 19 for prompt Mazarine. I believe it was 19. Sorry, I'm looking for a brush. This will have to do. It's a little dingy, but that's okay. Whatchamacallit, words are escaping me because I got distracted. Which is like recreating the bubbly background effect, or trying to see if I can recreate it, because that might have just been like a one and done sort of thing. So I'm going to attempt to do that. I have only a few colors of the Prima sprays, but I have another spray color that I kind of want to try first to see if that does it, and if it's just a spray thing, or if it's whatchamacallit, an oxide thing, or if it's specific to the Prima sprays that I have. I'm trying to figure out here if this can be recreated by myself without getting my fingers directly onto the thing, because it's all juicy. This isn't gonna work. Hold on. Yeah, so I'm choosing two colors I don't hardly ever use, which is Shabby Shutters and Evergreen Bough. Because I'm trying to go for like a, I don't know, like an oceany vibe, like a pre-Cambrian sea kind of vibe, like a back in my day type of ocean. Oh, I just don't want to touch this. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, guys. It's just, Shabby Shutters was wetter than I thought. Okay, that should be good. There we go. Get a nice blend in here. So yeah, I'm going for like a mysterious, murky, brine deep sort of, I don't know, look here, look and feel. I feel like that's pretty good. And then I'm gonna attempt to lessen the mess. Not clean it. I just shook my whole table to do that. So, the last time I used one of these Prima color bloom things, I only have them in blue, and I have a gold one somewhere too. I don't know where it's at. But I only have them in blue because I meant to buy the whole collection, but they were like $7 a piece, and I did not. But I also have this color, which is a patina color, so I kind of thought maybe I would try this first and see if it does the thing. And if it doesn't do the thing, then I'll do the Prima one, and we'll see if it does the thing. Because my thought here is that it might be the mica spray doing the thing. Oh, you guys can't see. Here, get you a little closer, where it makes these little speckly, spotty bits. Because if you remember, when I did, sorry, now I'm just losing my voice now that I started talking for the first time in hours. But if you remember, when I did Mazarine, I put a bunch of distress ink down, sprayed it, heated it up, and then I got this like bubbly effect. But I didn't get the shimmer effect. I was very confused as to where the shimmers went. But yeah, so we're gonna heat it up together and see if we get a bubbly effect. Okay, at the risk of drying everything, because I don't want it to be completely dry if it's not going to work, it did a little bit. We actually got more shimmers on this one. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up because they're relatively the same color. So let's try the blue and see. This one requires a bit more shaking. Let's see. There we go. It's like murky in there. So at any rate, while I do this impossible shaking, okay, let's try this. Because it might just be that blue one. It might just be like whatever was happening with the blue. Ooh, that's more than I wanted. Oh, I guess I don't think I said it last time, but the reason why I love these is because they have a dual action pump, so you can get a wide spray or big old drippy drops, and that was why I love them so much. And I just like this design. It was easy to store because they all hung up. That was why I was in love with these. I just didn't want to spend all the money on it. Now I wish I had. But that is a thing of the past now, because that's over and done. They don't make them anymore, so I'd have to go buy them all used, and who knows what's in those bottles anymore. At any rate, I'm gonna let this sit for a second, let it percolate, think about what it wants to do. Well, it's on my fingers now. You know what? I'm actually just gonna go wash my hands. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so I washed my hands, and then for the sake of the video, dried the tag, because I figured that was better than making you guys wait for it to dry. But, so the spotty, bubbly texture does come from the Prima spray, I have realized. Focus. There we go. So you can see, like, all that little bubbly texture is definitely from the Prima spray. I guess it's reacting with the Distress Oxide, because I don't see it do this on regular paper. Not like this. And also, you can see it's still glossy. It's still, like, a little bit tacky in the glossy places, but I like nuclear bombed it with the heat tool, so that's also why it looks like this. But now that I know, I will spend the rest of my days hunting down the whole collection on eBay because that's so cool. But I like it. I like it has like bubbly ocean depths coming up, like the bubbles coming up. Sort of aesthetic to it. I have a strong desire to be extra about it, and perhaps. At any rate, I'm going to talk about what I am doing, what I'm making. And I think this needs an edge. So, I'll give it a nice splotchy, rockety edge. What am I doing? Oh, so for this prompt, Pantagruelian, the enormous, bigly things. And I was trying to think of bigly big things. And what I thought of was something very, very particular and very niche. So I'm going to share my, another one of my niche interests with you guys. And some of you might know about it because some of you are in the know. Last time I doubted that you guys knew about anime, and then you all surprised me about your anime stuff. So I'm gonna give you guys the benefit of the doubt that at least one of you guys knows. But we're talking about the SCP Foundation, and the SCP Foundation is not an actual thing. What it is an online creative, like collaborative writing project. Okay, go with me on this one. And essentially, it started years ago. I can't remember when, but they posted it online, and let me explain to you what it is. If you're into cryptids, you're into the SCP Foundation and you don't know it yet. Because it's essentially like a big lore archive on different monsters and anomalies. That's what they call them, or SCPs, which stands for Special Containment Procedure Foundation. So the SCP Foundation is the Special Containment Procedure Foundation, because the creatures that they are protecting the world from need special types of containment, and they need to be like monitored, and the whole foundation's goal is to like study them and learn from them. Some of them are benevolent, some of them are evil, some of them are just neutral, and whatchamacallit, they study them and then they contain them to keep them from getting out or causing harm to humans. And if they can benefit humanity, then they're used in such a way, but also like their identity and role is kept a secret from humanity. And that's like the whole foundation's like goal. But the creative writing project comes into place because there's an SCP wiki, and then there is I have to go look. There's a website that contains Foundation Tales. That's what Wikipedia is telling me, because I had to go make sure I gave you guys accurate information. That gives you like more stories on it. There's a bunch of creepypastas about SCP creatures and things like that, so you can find those really easily online. If you just want to listen to the stories, I would recommend the wiki if you're into like lore diving and stuff like that. I am also on like the Reddit, and I spend a lot of time there talking about the creatures and learning about them, because I just find it so cool. First of all, I love anything with lore. Lore is like my bread and butter. I love that so much. So it's like the reason why like stuff like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings are like so beloved by me, because if I can do hours and hours and hours of extra research into something and expand the universe in my brain that way, then like it is one of my favorite things. So that's kind of like why I love the whole SCP Foundation, and I like to like deep dive into the wiki and look for stuff like that. Is because I just like to learn random bits about stuff. But the cool part is that like the files for all the SCP creatures are like submitted by users. So like users come up with the story, they come up with the class, and so it's like SCP-009, SCP-1009, like they all have numbers and stuff like that. It's just like whatchamacallit, words and stuff and things. But it's all like submitted by users who come up with the stories, and then they submit them in a way that like every story or like every like creature that's submitted to the files is done in like a case file format. So you're getting it like in the story out of like from the perspective of the SCP Foundation, like scientists or like field staff and stuff, who are like explaining to you like where the creature was found, what happened in the incidents in which it was like contacted, the effects that it has on the world. They have classifications, so some are just like normal, like barely harmful, barely dangerous, to like world-ending destruction class types. And there's a bunch of different cool ones. There's some that like are really like psychological and make you think about it. Some that are like a little bit beyond what you can sort of comprehend as a human being, where you're like, how would this work? And when you start to think about it, you're like, oh, whoa, my brain, that doesn't work. Because they're like extra dimensional, or there's like mental creatures. There's just a bunch of cool creatures. It's a fun deep dive for like a lazy afternoon where you don't have anything to do. I would definitely recommend it if you're just like looking to kill some time. For funsies, if you like to go on big lore deep dives and learn about cool cryptids and stuff. Some of like the cryptids that we know are in there. There's creatures from folklore and mythology in there, and then there's a bunch of like unique creations in there as well. I think even I think it was Alter, but it might have been the sci-fi one. Is Alter the sci-fi one? At any rate, there's a YouTube channel called Alter, and then it has a sci-fi counterpart, like a partner, where they do like short movies. I gotta look. I'll try to remember to link it for you guys. But they do like occasionally an SCP film will sneak into there, which is kind of I think what made me think of this, because I just watched one like yesterday, and I was like, oh, that's perfect, because they did a little short based on the SCP like Foundation and their creatures and stuff like that. And I just really enjoy it. I really love it. So at any rate, when I was thinking about the prompt, and I was like, okay, what are you gonna do actually though? At first I was like, oh, you could do redwoods, because redwoods are gigantic. They would definitely be described as Pantagruelian. But then I couldn't find my redwoods calendar page. So then I was like, okay, walk that back, think of something else. And that's when I came up with this, which is actually, I think it's SCP 169. I should have written this down. Hold on. Okay, I was right. The SCP that I am doing is 169, also known as the Leviathan, who is said to be between 2,000 and 8,000 kilometers in length. So that's definitely enormous. And I am American and don't even know what a kilometer looks like. But I know that 8,000 of them is a lot. So, yeah, so I'm doing that, and I picked it because, one, it's gigantic, right? It's a Leviathan, and I like a big monster, right? That works for the prompt, it works for my heart, but also, they said that in the description, they described it as an arthropod, and I was like, guess what you have on your little curiosity sheet? You have a crap ton of arthropods, because this is a horseshoe crab, and a horseshoe crab is an arthropod, and it's not just any arthropod, it is an ancient prehistoric arthropod, because the horseshoe crab has evolved very little since its early days in the seas. It's just smaller than it was before, but otherwise it is still prehistoric. So I was like, how perfect is this? So I have this Leviathan of a horseshoe crab, which I honestly like. I know like most like biblical depictions are of Leviathan being some kind of like sea serpent, but I think a gigantic like horseshoe crab, or just a crab in general, would be more terrifying. I find crabs to be fairly creepy in their funny little guy ways, because they are funny little guys, I think. But I find them to be fairly creepy. So I think I would be more intimidated by a gigantic, ginormous crab than I would be a gigantic, ginormous snake. Like, not to say that I wouldn't be afraid of a gigantic snake. Sorry, I'm way off camera now. I just realized I have been cutting so close to myself because the details were so small. So if you guys missed a bunch of it, it wasn't interesting, but I'm sorry. Whatchamacallit, you know, like a giant snake would be scary, but I would not be like as unsettled as I would be for a giant crab. This is distinctly fussier than I thought it was going to be. So I'm just going to sort of skate through these. I guess they're just getting a little mini shadow here instead of the full treatment, because I don't have all day. I do not. I also don't have the dexterity to fuss with that right now, so we're just going to move on. But, yeah, so I thought this was perfect. A gigantic SCP-like creature would be the perfect Pantagruelian thing to add to my tag. And that's how we got here. That was the whole story of how we got here. The SCP Foundation is pretty cool. I find it to be very interesting. I always like discovering new things or being like, huh, what about that? What about this? So fun. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I'd recommend just like doing a deep dive into the wiki, picking a number at random, and seeing where that takes you, because it's fun. And maybe like when I'm not doing a month-long challenge and I'm doing a story craft, I'll try to find like a story or something I can share about some SCP creatures or something, so that you guys can get a better idea of what it looks like and like how that all works. Yeah, it's gonna be great. So what I need to do is dry this, because this edge is still wet. So I'm going to dry everything again, and then I'm going to come back. Okay, so I thought about it a little bit while I was baking in my Distress Oxide, and I figured, one, I forgot to plug the microphone in, so the sound is going to be weird, but also my phone connection is weird too, so maybe it's better than it would have been had I plugged it in. But two, I don't trust the tacky spray to not pick up embossing powder, so I'm going to emboss it all first in clear, and then come back and try to add some bubbly texture in white, and see how that works out. Because I don't trust this. So we're just gonna play into it and see what happens. See, I knew it. I'm telling you guys, I have like nuked this and nuked it over and over and over and over again, and it just didn't dry. Even the edge still stayed wet, and it definitely cooked down and baked into a nice, lovely golden brown and delicious color. So, yeah. I don't know what that means. That evergreen bough is juicier than I originally anticipated, or what? I already knew the Prima spray was going to be tacky, so I'm not really too pressed on that one. Okay, so that worked out better than I thought, because it made the bubbly texture more visible. So that's neat. Questioning my decisions now. No, just double down. When in doubt, double down. But I thought, you know, like, the bubble-roo. Or we could do that like in white, like, I don't know, like sea foam. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, I don't know, just gonna sort of randomize it a bit and see what sticks up here towards the top. Let's see what happens, Captain. And then we need the white. If you were white, you would be, oh, right here, the first thing I picked up. Wow. So let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, no, that's great. Oh, I like that. So that was literally all I had to talk about, if you guys can't, if you can believe it. That was everything I had to talk about for this one, so I don't have anything to talk about now. Let's heat this up and see what the results are. I love it. It is giving sea foam, and I like it. Okay, so we got our guy. Oh, this could be like the beach part, like he's coming ashore. Oh, still gonna cover up the bubbly bit. Maybe I can put him off like a little bit over here. But then it feels like I need something here, you know? Like I put him dead center. He still feels off. Maybe he's going back to the sea. Oh, I like that too. Why are you such a weird shape, horseshoe crab? And why Why does it every time I make this texture, I cover it right up? How does that work? Oh, I like that. That's a good orientation. So, let's do that while I think about this bit. Oh, and you guys will be pleased to know that reunited and it feels so good. I have my glue back. And I promise you I will not talk about it anymore now that I finally have it back in my arms where it belongs. Everything is right with the world again. I no longer want to murder everything. And I know it sounds crazy, because it is a little bit crazy to feel so strongly about glue, but like, you guys, I use it all the time. It means the world to me. All right, look at that, just so nice, glued so nicely. I'm a sweet baby. Welcome home. So excited when the package came today. I was like, oh my god, this is it. Act cool, act cool. So, I want to do something else. But what else do you want to do? I suppose I should have thought about it. Let me think about it. Okay, so I decided not to overcomplicate it. And we're just going to add some little splitter splatters in the colors that we used originally. Because if I do anything else, I think I want to irritate myself by overcomplicating it. But I just feel like the background's a little too flat. So, we're going to unflatten it. And then, like, it can be, you know, speckly sea bits. I don't know what's in the ocean. I don't go in there. I have thalassophobia. Okay, yeah, I like that better. Because now it's got stuff. You guys can't see anything because the lights are bright. But I will bring it up there for you guys to see in a second. Like, part of me really wants to go in with some black. Like, I really want to go in. Like, just... You know? But, I don't know. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Was this enough? Doesn't need a border-ish thing. No, because I want it to feel like open ocean, right? Like, it's the open ocean. It's coming in here. Finish it up. Don't drag this out, Priscilla. What are you doing? No, this one was the right one. Where is the ink? Where is the ink? Where is the ink? Jesus Christ. Just everything coming down, coming apart all at once. Okay. Pantagruelian. I love that the word is longer than the actual definition. That is so funny. Usually I would get, like, annoyed with that kind of stuff if I was, like, looking up a word and then it was like that, but, like, just to see it, like, visually is funny and hilarious. Actually, I think the brown fixed it for me. I think the brown closed it off in a way that doesn't, like, overwhelm the piece. So yeah, that worked. That was a good idea. Good job, Priscilla from the past, for deciding that all of them needed to be edged in the same brown, even though they were not on theme. Don't ask me. Ask her. She knew. She knew what she was doing. Oh my god, I'm so happy. This is the silliest, goofiest thing to be this excited about glue, but, like, I'm telling you guys, I'm just so relieved. And there we go. That is it for day 22 for Pantagruelian. Definitely come back tomorrow, see what we do for day 23 for Curiosiprompts, and definitely check out Tiff Tiff, I said. Words are really hard, okay? And names are harder. Tiff at Amethyst Raven 342. See what she made, because she is my co-host for this challenge. And check out the playlist. Just check stuff out, you guys. Just check it out, okay? I'm not your boss, but, like, you know, give it a look. At any rate, I appreciate your faces. Happy crafting, guys, and goodbye. Okay, so I know I said goodbye, but I don't think I got you guys close enough to see the detail at any point, like, you know, in an adequate way. So we're back with detail and distress sponge scuzz. Ta-da! Big out. Goodbye.